Hi everybody, this is Dr. Shrikant. I was an intern at Sparks Foundation in Data Science and Business Analytics. I was completed my first and second tasks successfully and uploaded in LinkedIn, YouTube and GitHub as well. This is my third task which I am going to explaining here. The name of the task is Exploratory Data Analysis Retail. And I have been provided with the data set of sample superstore. By using that data set, we have to perform exploratory data analysis to establish the hidden relationship in between the data points in the data set, as well as to extract the insights to improve the business process, and also to recommend actionable decisions to be made to improve the business process. This is the importance of data analysis, exploratory data analysis. And objective of this study is to find out the weak areas where the business manager can work to make more profit and delivering the business problems by exploring this data. And the type of the data is a sample superstore data set, which has been provided by the Sparks Foundation, and the model used to explore the data is exploratory data analysis, and source of the data, the URL is provided here. By using this URL, we have retrieved the data into Jupyter Notebook, and the steps involved. These are the major steps involved in the exploratory data analysis of sample superstore data. Defining the problem. Before going to perform exploratory data analysis, we have to define the problem. The problem is here to find out the weak areas where the business manager can work to make more profit and delivering the business problems by exploring the data and checking the versions of the libraries and importing the libraries into the notebook. So to perform exploratory data analysis, we need to have some libraries which has to be imported to perform the task, and importing of the data set. The data set has to be retrieved and uploaded into the Jupyter Notebook to perform exploratory data analysis. Cleaning of data. Before performing the exploratory data analysis, we need to look at the data set which is provided, and let's see the data set. And this is the data set is provided here. There is a different columns and rows, the columns like shipment mode, segment, country, city, state, postal code, region, category, subcategory, sales, quantity, discount, profit. Likewise, 13 columns are there, and the rows, more than 9,000 rows are there. So once you see the data, there are some data is having numerical data, and some data is having textual data. So it is the combination of numerical and textual data, and that numerical data is sales data is numerical data, quantity is the numerical data, discount is the numerical data, and profit is the numerical data. These four things are very important to perform the exploratory data analysis. And also in the data cleaning process, we need to look at data for the presence of null values in the data set, and is there any outliers in the data set, and also any duplicate values in the data set. That has to be assessed by looking at the data set before performing exploratory data analysis. And also we need to assess which column is important, which column is not important, and also by using this data set we need to understand that which one is a dependent variable. And if you look at the data set, and here like the profit is the label data, and remaining all the columns are futures. So there is a numerical data, textual data, and how many columns are there, how many rows are there, is there any presence of null values, is there any presence of duplicate values, and which column is important for the exploratory data analysis, which is required or not, that has to be assessed before performing the exploratory data analysis. It is the part of a data cleaning process. This is called as pre-processing of data, which is very important for the successful completion of exploratory data analysis. And finally, after exploratory data analysis, we have to visualize the data, whatever the data which is pre-processed, and based on that the data will be visualized to extract the insights from the data set. And finally the conclusion, which is very important, the major part of the exploratory data analysis is to propose some actionable insights for the development of business process. This is the important thing in the exploratory data analysis. So version verification, and it is as usual, and importing of libraries, NumPy as NP, Matplotlib, Pandas, sklearn, and warnings. It is to ignore some warnings given by the notebook while performing the task. And all these things are very important to perform this task. Matplotlib is to visualization of the data, and Pandas to read the data set, and NumPy is to form arrays. And each every library has got importance, and that will be helpful to perform exploratory data analysis. And reading the data set, and here the data file has been stored at desktop. From the desktop, the path has given to read the data set. After reading the data set, the data has been retrieved into the notebook, and the print is data read successfully. So the data came into the Jupyter notebook to perform the exploratory data analysis. And already we have discussed that before getting into the exploratory data analysis, we need to pre-process the data. The process is called as cleaning up the data. Cleaning up the data means we have to use the trimmed data to extract the insights from the data set without any deviation or without any misunderstanding. Okay, this is what we need to perform the cleaning of the data to avoid errors in the exploratory data analysis, which is very important step. And come to the dimensions of the data. Dimensions of the data here, the shape of the data is 9994 rows are there in the data set, and 13 columns are there in the data set, and there is the exact the size of the data set which is provided. And peek at the data means once you read the data set by the code, that df orders head means it is going to give the first top 5 rows in the data set. And here C is shipment mode, segment, likewise up to profit, there is a 13 columns are there, and 0 to 4 total 5 rows are given. And tile part, and the last 5 data points has been seeing here. And columns in the data set, if you use the dot column, it is going to give what are the different columns present in the data set. Around 13 columns are there in the data set. And what are the category types? There is a column in the data set that is called as category. In category, how many types are there? So that is called by the function unique. So if you call by the function unique, category unique, it is going to give what are the different types, subtypes in the category. That is furniture, office supplies and technology. So three different subtypes in the category. And types of the subcategory. So again, in subcategory, how many types are there? Like subcategory unique function used to call the types of the subcategory. So these are the subcategories: bookcases, chairs, labels, tables, storage, furnishing. Likewise, many subcategories are there. And types of the segments: segment dot unique. This is the function used to call. And consumer, corporate, home office. Three major segments are there in the data set. And already we have discussed that the postal code it doesn't make any sense to keep in the data set, and the postal code give any actionable insights to improve the business process, and it doesn't have impact on the profit. So it is not required to put it in the data set, and that will be used for the exploratory data analysis. So it is the time to drop the postal code column so that there is no impact on the exploratory data analysis process. So drop column postal code, axis 1 means axis is equal to 1 means, and we are going to drop a column. Next, peek at the data. Peek at the data means just we are verifying. We call for the drop of the column by using the function drop. Then let us see whether the column is dropped or not, and that will be seen or visualized by the df orders dot head. Again, it is going to give top 5 rows. Here let us check, and here there is no postal code. Only here we can see 12 columns. Before it is 13 columns are there. Now it become 12 columns because we have dropped out postal column. It doesn't require for the exploratory data analysis. It doesn't make any sense to keep in the data set. Number of products in each category. There are 3 different subsets in the category. Let us count how many items are there in the each subset of category. So there are 3 subsets in the category: office supplies, furniture and technology. Office supplies, the number of items is 6026, furniture 2121, technology 1847. So these are the values that will be called by the function value underscore counts the category. Total number of products in all categories. So total number of products in all categories. So around 9994. Here in categories individually we call to know how many items are there in the each subset, and total means this all together 6026, 2121, 1847. All together it comes the value of 9994. So this will be the total number of products in all categories. Number of subcategories products are divided. How many unique values of subcategories? So there are 17 is there. Subcategories, under subcategories there will be different products, and the products are divided into 17 major subsets. Number of products in each subcategory. So in each subcategory how many products are there? So that will be visualized, or that will be called by the function subcategory value underscore counts. Here the binders, paper, furnishings, phones. Likewise different items are there in subcategory. In each subcategory, like binder is the one of the subcategory, how many items are there? 1523. Likewise it will going to give under each subcategory, how many items are there. And types of the regions in the data set, there will be a column region, and this is also very important because in the exploratory data analysis we can see which region sales will be more, and in which region the profit will be more, and in which region there will be a loss. These kind of insights will be derived by performing the exploratory data analysis in using regions. So this column is very important. Let us see how many types of regions are there, and if you call region unique, so it is going to give 4 types of regions: south, west, central and east. And types of shipment modes, how you ship the product into the customer. So there are 4 different types: second class and standard class, first class and same day. So the product will be delivered in the same day, the first class or standard class, second class. Likewise, there are different shipment modes will be there. Unique states. States is the one of the major column in the data set. That is what are the different states. There are different states in the US. All these states are visualized here, seen here. That unique cities, what are the different cities in the different states. So these are the different cities. There are a number of cities are there. Number of unique values in the each column. So already we have detailed in the earlier part. Again, let us see shipment mode. There are 4 categories, segment 3 categories, country 1, and that is US, and cities 31 cities are there, states 49 cities are there, region 4 is there, categories 3 is there, subcategories 17 is there, and sales, how many values are there? 5,825. Quantities 14 is there. Discount 12 types of discounts will be given to the customers, and profit 7,287. These are the complete information about the data and how many unique values in the each and every column, and full summary of the data. So this is called by the function info, and it is going to give the full summary of the data, how many data points are there in the data set, that is column and rows. So there are 9,994 things are there in the data set, and these are the different columns are there. Null, no null value. See, object type is already earlier we have discussed in the starting, what are the different data types are there in the data set. That is numerical data is there and textual data is there, and here there are 4 things are sales, quantity, discount, profit. These 4 are numerical data, and the remaining 7 columns are textual data. And there is a float, and integers are there, and total RAM used 937.1 plus KB, and statistical summary of the data set. And by using the function describe, you can call the statistical summary of the data set. Here the total count is 9,904. These are the number of rows in the data set, and the mean of the values is 229.85. Standard deviation, the minimum sales, that is 0.44, and the maximum sales 22,638, and 25% means the sales is 17.28, 50% 54.49, and 75% 209. So these are the quantities, and these are the discount, and these are the profit. The maximum profit is value given, and the minimum profit is here. The total number of null values in the data set. Here there is no null values in the data set. This can be seen here, and so 0, 0, 0, 0. So there is no null value. So total number of null values is 0, And what are the different types? Already we have discussed. There are around actually in the data set 13 columns are there. We have dropped out postal code column, then we can see only 12 columns in the data set, and 4 columns are having numerical data. Remaining 8 columns are textual data. So this is what it is going to see, you are going to see here. And unique data in each column. Again, in each column, what is the unique data? So here this is the shipment mode and segment and country and states. Region, categories, subcategories. Likewise, the last column is profit and discount, sales, quantity. The number of duplicate values in the data set. Already I have told that there won't be any duplicate values because it is going to interfere with the exploratory data analysis. It will not give proper insights if you perform the EDS, exploratory data analysis, with the duplicate values. So that we have to drop out the duplicate values which are in the data set. The total number of duplicate values is 50. Let us visualize the missing values. Already the missing values are 0. So let us, if you see, visualize by using heat map, there won't be any missing values in each category. So there are 12 columns like ship mode to profit. So it will be, there won't be any color differentiation, means that there is no missing values in the data set. And dropping of duplicate values. How many duplicate values are there? It's 50 duplicate values are there. And drop duplicates. So if you call by using this function, it is going to drop, and the 50 duplicate values in the data set, now it has become 9,944. Earlier it is 9,994, and after dropping the duplicate values, the number become 9,944. Next, correlation among the columns. What is the relationship in between the columns? How they are correlated with respect to each other? This is what we are going to establish here by using the function orders.core. CORR. This is by using this function, or if you call by using this function, this is the data is established, and here we can see the relationship in between, or correlation in between two different variables. Here we can see relationship between the two variables, sales and sales. So the parameters are same, so the correlation is 1. Let us see the quantity and quantity. Here, see, this is the value, because we are comparing the same parameters, so the correlation is 1. And discount and discount, here the 1. Again profit and profit. Let us see the correlation in between the quantity and sales. Here, see, sales and quantity. Actually, if there is a good correlation, the correlation value is 1. So here sales and quantity correlation only 0.2 is there. And the discount and sales, the correlation is in minus 0.002, and the correlation in between profit versus sales 0.47. Okay, likewise you can see the correlation which is in negative values. It is going to give a dangerous sign where we have to focus as a business manager, and there is a need to take some actions to overcome this negative values. So here discount and sales value relationship, the correlation is in negative, and again the discount and profit correlation is again there is a negative value. Okay, so discount, this is minus 0.21. So discount versus profit, discount versus profit, again there is a negative correlation. So finally by using this correlation data, and here we can see there is a negative correlation in between some variables. Such variables have been identified, so that we need to focus on such variables to improve the business process. Here see the core function to find out the correlation among the columns are features of the data set. We are only having 4 numeric columns in the data frame. Core is used to find out the pairwise correlation. So there is a pair, sales versus sales, quantity versus quantity, discount versus discount, profit versus profit, and sales versus sales, sales versus quantity, sales versus discount, sales versus profit. So that pairwise correlation has to be established. Any values are automatically excluded. Okay, by process, automatically whatever the null values are there in the data set, in case that has also excluded, because already we have removed all the null values and duplicate values in the data set. For any non-numeric data type columns in the data frame, also ignored. Only the correlation is calculated for the numerical data set. So by using this data, we can establish some insights where there is a negative correlation is there, and we have to focus on such variables, okay, to establish some actionable insights for the development of business process. Next, covariance between set of variables. Covariance provides the measure of strength of correlation of between two variables or more set of variables. So what is the strength of correlation in between the two variables? Okay, so whether the strength is high or not. Let us see here. If a correlation between two set of values or set of variables is 0, then the variables are uncorrelated. If it is greater than 0, the variables are positively correlated. If less than 0, we can say that the variables are negatively correlated. Again, the same here, there is a negative correlation is there in between discount versus profit and discount versus profit. So if it is 0, the variables are uncorrelated. So here there is something 0, quantity versus discount. So these two variables are uncorrelated, and also greater than 0, the variables are positively correlated. So all the values are greater than 0, except some minus values are there. Also you can there is a negative correlation in between sales versus discount. So by seeing this data, we can say that there is a negative correlation and also some positive correlation, and some variables are not correlated at all. So here quantity versus discount, the correlation is 0, that is 0.00 means there is a 0, there is no correlation in between discount versus quantity, and greater than 0, the values like this sales versus profit and quantity versus profit, and also discount versus profit. So there is a negative correlation. Again, negative correlation means it is less than 0. So we can see positive correlation, no correlation, and negative correlation by using this data set. And we have to focus on there is a negative correlation between two variables. So we have to put our efforts to improve the relationship, and which will be helpful to improve the business process. Next, slicing of the data. Just by using log function, we can see what is the first column and what is the first row, and if you use log 0 means it is going to give the information what are the different columns, and log 0, and here also all the data points are came, and summary of the data. Finally, it's look like whatever the different columns in the data set till the length is 9944. So all the columns are displayed. So here there is no postal code column already, that has been dropped. It displays only 11 columns. So all the data is displayed here. This is the summary of the data. Next comes to the visualization of the data, and means to extract the insights from the data set, we need to visualize the data, and to understand the relationship between the different variables or set of variables. The visualization is very important, so that actionable insights has been drawn to develop the business process. The first plot is bar plot between the subcategory versus category. So there are three different categories are there, that is furniture, office supplies and technology. These are the three different categories in the data set. Under category, there are different subcategories are there. Let us see here. In furniture category, frequency of individual item is very less. So this bar represents the frequency of the number of items in the particular variable. Okay, here furniture here there is no frequency, or there is no variables shows the value of furniture, bookcases, chairs and tables, furnishing. The frequency of items is very less. And if office supplies, the frequency of individual item is medium. See, this is the office supplies. The frequency of each item, labels and storage, binders, appliances, paper. Likewise, there are office supplies items are medium. And technology, the frequency of individual item is high. So this is the technology. This is the frequency of each item. Phones is the number of items of phones is more, and accessories and missions, copiers. So by comparing subcategory versus category, and in each category how many subcategories are there, and in each subcategory how many items are there, the frequency of items. By using this graph we can visualize the relationship between subcategory and category, so that we come to know that the furniture category frequency of individual item is very less, office supplies frequency of individual item is medium, and technology the frequency of individual item is high. Next, move on to pie plot of subcategory. This pie plot is going to give information about the percentage of items in each subcategory. Let us see in subcategories there are different subcategories. So which item in the subcategory is going to occupies good percentage. Paper, that is 13.7, and binders 15.2. Likewise, each and every item is having a different percentage. Here the copiers and missions, supplies, fasteners, bookcases, and this having very less percentage. The store has a wide variety of office officials, especially binders and papers. So here the major portion is papers and binders. Bar plot of sales versus profit. This is very important. What is the sales and what is the profit? So in this case we need to call by using the function group by. Here profit and sales, we are going to summing out what is the total profit and what is the total sales for each subcategory. So it is the subcategory accessories to tables. And what would be the here blue line represents the profit, sum of profit. This is the profit, and this is represent orange color line represents sales. So this is the sales, and what would be the profit and what would be the sales for each accessory. So here some cases here see tables here the profit is in negative, the sales is a bit more and the profit is negative. So this point we had to taken into account, and by this we need to extract the insights, and so that we can develop our business process. So this is comes under negative, and this here see very little profit, but supplies sales is a bit more and very little profit is there. And also here see there is a negative bookcases, the sales will be more, but the profit is sum of profit is negative. Okay, so this kind of insights we can derive from this graph, bar plot of sales and profit. So highest profit is earned in copiers, while selling price for chairs and phones is extremely high compared to other products. That's already seen in the plot. Another interesting fact, people don't prefer to buy tables and bookcases from the store. Hence these departments are in loss. Okay, already have seen that it is already in the loss because the profit in negative. Tables and bookcases, where it is here see it is also in negative. So these things we need to focus, because the tables and bookcases, because nobody is ready to take that product and purchase that product. So customers are not interested. So these two departments are under loss. So this kind of insights we had to derive from the data set. This is the observation which is derived from this plot. Count of cities, count plot of cities. Again, there is how many cities? Let us see. Kentucky, California, Florida. Likewise, this is the state under which how many states are there. California, it is number of states in California is more, and North Dakota, the number of states is a bit less, and West Virginia, very less number of states comes under cities comes under this state. So the maximum number of cities in California, and very less number of cities in West Virginia state. This is the information we can derive. And New York, the moderate number of moderate number of cities are there seen in the New York state. Next, sales and profit region wise. Already we have seen that there are 4 different regions in the data set. That will be visualized here: central, east, south, west. And what would be the profit and sales region wise? Let us see here: central, east, south and west. The sales will be more in west, and after that the sales will be more in the east, the less sales in the south part, and the medium sale in the central part. Okay, but the profit is very less in the central part. By using this graph or plot, we can say that the profit is it is not proportionate to the sale. Okay, and also here west part, the sale will be more, but the profit is bit less when compared to the sales. Okay, right. Count of subcategories, count plot of subcategories, and these are the subcategories, and what is the count. And here bookcases, how many count, how many numbers are there, chairs, how many numbers are there, and copiers number. Likewise, the information can be derived by this plot. Heat map of correlation among the columns. Already we have discussed what is the correlation between two different variables. The correlation should be one. That will be the same data has been visualized by using heat map. So sales, quantity, discount, and profit. So sales versus sales, the correlation is because we are comparing the same data point or same set of variable with the same variable. Sales versus sales, the correlation is 1, and quantity versus quantity, discount versus discount, profit versus. The problem is when you compare profit versus the discount, there is a negative value. So likewise the covariance, it is visualized by using heat map. Count plot of segments. There are 3 different segments. Consumer segment is more and home office segment is very less. So the store has to focus more focus home office segment so that the business may improve. Count plot of region, south and west, central, east. Already have seen in the last plot that west and east regions are more, and after that central, then after that south. Bar plot of subcategory versus profit. These are the bar plot and what will be the profit in each subcategory, and here this will be the more profit is there in this subcategory. Next, line plot of discount versus profit. Here very important thing, whether the profit is correlated with the discount, because already we have seen that there is a negative correlation between two variables, so that here wherever the discount is, see here the discount is 0.5 and discount is 0.4, and if the discount is no discount is given on the product, so the profit is like between 0 to 100, and if it is keep on increasing discount, that is up to 0.4, now the profit is minus 100. Okay, up to 0.3 the profit is in between 0 to minus 100. Anyhow, after the discount 0.4 and after 0.4 the profit will be get down, and if the discount is 0.6, again there will be a little bit rise in the profit, then if the discount is 0.8, again. So the negative correlation between the discount and the profit has been visualized very clearly by using this plot. So here the discount is increases on the product, the profit is going to reduce, the profit is in negative, so that the business manager has to focus on how the discount is going to affect the profit of the product. Next, histogram data. Here the bins means interval 50 interval has been taken, and this is the sales data. Quantity data, quantity means there are 14 is the maximum in the quantity data, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 and up to 14, and number of quantity ordered, that is 2 is more, and the number of quantities ordered, that is 14, is very less. Likewise, that is visualized by using this histogram. Next, pair plot of subcategory. For the pair plot has been established by taking only numerical data set, profit, discount, quantity, and sales. These are the numerical data sets. By this, we can establish the relationship between the different data points in the each and every subcategory, sales and quantity and discount. And here is the plot. Summary of the data. Finally, only you have taken certain kind of columns, and here like 10 columns are there, and 2983 rows will be there. And here we are going to summarize the data, what category, what is the subcategory, which state. Here the data will be seen in the alphabetical order. See here, first A, C, F. Likewise, around 2983 columns are there. How many quantity ordered, what is the discount is offered, what is the sales, and what is the profit. Statistical summary of the data. Here the data, and here the statistical summary of the data. By this we can see that what is the minimum value and maximum value, and standard deviation, average or mean, and we can see the correlation and also variance between the data. This is the statistical data of the each and every state. Here there are different states, and what is the sum, and what is the mean, minimum, maximum, and what is the count of means how many cities are there, median, standard deviation, and variance. Pair plot of the data, that is again numerical data part has been taken, that is profit, discount, quantity, and sales. Box plot of the sales, how the sales. Here we can see some outliers are there, and this is the 50%, and this is will be the 75%, and these are the outliers. Box plot of the discount. Here see, these are the outliers, means there is a negative value. If the 0.8 will be the discount given to on the product, there will be negative value. 0.76 and bit okay. If it is 0.3 and 0.4, if it is 0.5, again there is a beyond the value, negative value. Box plot of the profit. This is the discount and profit. Again same. And here Q3 minus Q1. Q1 means first quartile, and Q3 means third quartile, means 25% data and 75% data. Like so the profit is 27.63. Plot of value counts, sales statistical data. The total count is 9,904, and mean, standard deviation. This is the sales already. Sales statistical data already. This thing will be here visualized. This is the sales box plot of sales. So here first quartile and third quartile and median. These are the outliers. The same thing, the values are shown here. Box plot of the sales, quantity, discount, profit, because these four are numerical data sets in the numerical columns in the data set. And how will be the sales and quantity, discount, and profit. Next, clustering of the data, how in subcategories, how each subcategory is having similar kind of data sets. Here this yellow color represents centroids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 centroids will be there, so that we can gather the similar data points in the each cluster. And come to the conclusion. already we have visualized many things, and by the visualization of data we came to a conclusion that profit in south and central is less. Already we have seen that profit is very less, and profit in east west regions better than south and central, that are clearly evident with the plot. Highest profit is earned in copiers. Already we have seen in the copiers plot, that is let's see here again. This is the subcategory plot. This is the copiers highest sales. Highest profit is earned in copier, while selling price for chairs and phones is extremely high compared to other products. That already we have seen in the graph. Another interesting fact that people doesn't prefer to buy tables and bookcases because that is very people are not focused and very less number is there. Hence these departments are in the loss, so that as a business manager they have to think whether how to strengthen those departments. The store has wide variety of office supplies that will be visualized in the pie graph. The papers will be occupying more portion, that is binders and papers. Negative correlation between the profit and discount, and total sum of profit in sales of tables is negative. Profit is more in sales of copiers, right? No or very less profit in sales of supplies. Technology segment is more profitable. So these are the different insights has been derived by performing exploratory data analysis of sample superstore data set, and these insights will be helpful to take actionable decisions so that the business process will be improved. Thank you.